there's no guaranteed paycheck. So, the money that I get is based on what I put into it.
That's the reality for many working in the gig economy, from dog walkers, DJs, and rideshare drivers. In the last 12 months, more than 2 million Americans took up some type of freelance work. Sari Levitt is one of them. While she works a 9-to-5 job at an advertising agency, she recently started her own side gig as a sleep consultant.
I was home more. I felt like I had the time that I could dedicate to going through the certification course. People who are sleep deprived feel they cannot function, and I'm helping people get empowered to change that.
Emily Parr Godzagan is a teacher who moved back to her childhood home in Michigan last year. That's where she came up with the idea to start a side gig making sticker art.
I stumbled upon my childhood sticker collection. A light bulb went off that I could use my vintage stickers to create custom work of art.
Terrence Anderson is a firefighter and works on the side as a personal trainer. For the last 8 years, he's been juggling both jobs.
I want to help people lose weight and build that community and meet different people through fitness, but I also want to be able to legitimately save lives.
More than a third of freelance workers earn their living solely through gig work. But for Sari, Emily, and Terrence, having a full-time job along with a side gig offers them both flexibility and many financial perks.
Since last October, I've made roughly $4,000, and I've been able to use this extra money to really help to enrich my daughter's lives.
I'm in charge of my income. If I want to work 40 hours a week as a personal trainer, I can, and I can make anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 a month extra.
The money that I earn from my side gig is a couple $1,000s. It's enough money to cover some expenses and potentially take a trip.
But there are also some downsides.
So the hard parts about having a side gig are definitely time. It's difficult to squeeze everything in.
There's no benefits, medical benefits. If you get hurt, you're in trouble.
But it's a way of working that's likely here to stay. By 2027, it's estimated that more than 86.5 million Americans will take part in the gig economy.
I love that I can scale it as big or as little as I want based on my own energy and my time input, and I'm really proud of it.
Not only am I having so much fun, but I'm making extra money on the side. So find your hidden talent and go for it.
I feel inspired. And Sharon Epperson is CNBC senior personal finance correspondent. Hey, Sharon.
Hey there, how are you?
We're good. Okay, so tell us what questions we should ask ourselves if we're thinking about starting a side hustle.
First of all, what are you passionate about? I mean, the passion among these people was just palpable. You want to do those jobs too, because you see how much they love it. But you also have to be practical and think about how much time, how much money do you have to actually put into getting this side hustle off the ground. It may take time and it may take money if you want to take a class, get a certification. Flexibility, though, is the key for many people of why they seek something else. And so do you want a more flexible schedule is another question. Those who say yes often are looking to do something else in addition to their traditional job or another job entirely. And then the other question to ask is, do you need or do you want different sources of income? Where are you going to put that extra money that you're getting? What is your goal and why are you working for this job? You're passionate about it, but it has a purpose as well. And when you identify that purpose, it may give you the drive to really pursue that side gig and stick to it.
Yeah, you could love it passionately. It could be your passion, but you also want it to pay something because it is taking up the time. So if you're considering a side gig, how much income should you get from that? Because otherwise it's just a hobby, really.
Absolutely. Well, you want to consider that you may be able to make more money than you're making in a traditional job by doing this side gig. It depends on how many hours you put into it, but also you may be able to earn a higher pay because you're not getting certain benefits that you would get from a traditional company. So that's something to consider. But you have to just figure out what your budget requires you to make to determine whether it makes sense to do this side gig or not.
Let's talk about some of the practical issues that come with it. So pretend you are dog walking, you know, for some hours during the week, or you're babysitting. Do you need to pay taxes? How does that work?
So you definitely need to think about whether or not you're going to owe $1,000 or more in taxes at the end of the year. And if the answer to that question is yes, then you're definitely going to have to pay what's known as estimated taxes. You pay them 4 times a year, and if you miss it, you kind of get penalized for it. So you want to be really as accurate as you can, even though your income may be uneven. So the good thing that you can do is try to figure out what you think you would make if you were doing this steadily all year, what you think your annual income would be, what the potential tax hit would be, and then set up a high yield savings account and start putting money in there. Every time you get paid for this side gig, some portion of that money needs to go into a savings account that's just earmarked for taxes. Even if you don't get hit with the tax hit, then you at least have it saved. You can use it for something else, but you don't want to be surprised come tax season.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like the girl with the stickers, the woman with the stickers. Like, I would think, well, how could that ever be turned into a business? So are there things you should consider if you have a hobby that you love? Like, how could I turn this thing into a moneymaker?
Well, absolutely. You want to get the name out there. You want to make sure that you have a strong digital profile so that people know what you're doing, what your services are. If you don't really know how to market it that well, you may want to volunteer your services so that you can get people to understand what you're doing and what skills you have. And then you also want to always ask for recommendations, for ratings that you can include on digital platforms so that, again, it's not just you saying I can do this, but it's other people who have tried your services, used your products, who can say, this is great, you got to check it out. That's a way to build your network. That's a way to build your business.
Sharon, thank you so much. I'm stuck in your bookcase.
I know, beloved by Toni Morrison. Wait, you have
Outliers.
2 Bob Marleys.
I know.
2 of them.
Two of them. Can you loan me one, please?
0 o'clock. 0 o'clock. That's the book you want. 0 o'clock.
Oh, I see
it's for teens, young adults about the pandemic by my husband.
What?
So you see that behind me because that's his new book.
Oh, I want to read it.
CJ Farley.
Thank you, Sharon.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.